All right, so next wine here is our Midwest Coast Red Blend. So this one is a big blend from all over the place. So 50% Crimson Cabernet came from the Grace Hill Vineyard right here. Crimson Cabernet is a hybrid of Cabernet Sauvignon, most famous grape in the world, and then Norton, the most famous grape in the Midwest. This one, Crimson Cab is supposed to taste like a Norton, grow like a Norton and taste like a Cab. And so this one, you're gonna have a little bit bigger body. This one is 50% Crimson Cab and then 25% Chamberson from Missouri. We had not a great growing year last year. We had a hailstorm that we alluded to earlier that really knocked out a lot of our, the hailstorm was this year.
Yeah, we had a spring frost last year, so that took out 70% of everything in Kansas?
Yes, exactly. So last year, the whole of the Midwest was bad. This year, just us was bad because we had a hailstorm. So last year we had the late freeze in April, knocked out a lot of our crop. So we did have to bring in some wines from different places. So we brought in some Chamberson from Missouri. And so 25% of this is Chamberson from Missouri, and the other 25% of it is Petit Syrah from California. So we've had to get a little bit creative these last couple of years with just the lack of grapes that we've had here. Also, the amount of interest that we've had in our wines, which we thank you for. We've had to increase the production on a lot of our Cellar Series stuff. And so between the lack of grapes here and the increased demand, we have had to go a little farther afield to figure out how to bring these wines to you, because as always, the people are thirsty.
Yes.
So 25% Petit Syrah from California, 25% Chamberson from Missouri, 50% Crimson Cab from here in Kansas makes for your Midwest Coast Red Blend. Tell us about it, Adam.
It's a little bit of a mouthful.
That's great.
It's great. So if you have ever had our two cabs, you will probably find this wine pretty appealing. It definitely is a little softer than the two cabs, a little bit more plush, so to speak. But the other thing, we were just talking about this, kind of reminds you of a Big Boy Flatlander. So a little bit more complex flavors. This one's seen oak, the Flatlander doesn't. And it just makes for a nice, easy drinking mid-coast red blend. For some flavors that you're looking for, you definitely get some of that oak spice. It's definitely got rich clove to it, and then the darker fruits from the Cabernet comes through. The Petit Syrah also drags that down. But the nice thing about Chamberson, no matter how you use it, it always finds its way through it all, either with its real fresh acidity, which it has, or with the bright cherry and strawberry flavors that we're going to have this one too.
If you're a Norton fan, if you've been a fan of some of our Nortons we've done in the past, we used to have it all the time. We just can't quite grow it as well as we would like to. So we kind of took that off of our normal tasting list. We have done a few Cellar Series ones with it. If you like the Nortons of the past, I think you'll probably be a fan of this one too, because it does kind of have a little bit of that Norton characteristic from the Crimson Cabernet there as well.
Mm-hmm. Easily delicious. Roast beef. You could do that with, again, so we're going back to the winter vibes, winter stew. You could do pot roast with this. Those winter foods, or any of those darker soups with kind of more that brown broth. Those would be really good to have with it as well. Or, if you're like me and we're ready for the campfire season, or the campfire.
Yeah. This would be, it kind of has a little bit of a campfire smell to it almost. I like it. 2023, Midwest Coast Red Blend. It's a Midwest Coast Red Blend. It's not a vintage.
Cheers.